Hey everyone, welcome back to Inner Purpose Therapy. It's so good to be connecting with you all again. In our last session, we dug deep into the power of communication, how it lays the groundwork for genuine connection. And today, we're going to keep building on that foundation by tackling a topic that can feel a bit thorny: conflict resolution. Because let's be real, conflict is a part of life, right? It's going to show up in our relationships, no matter how much we love and care for someone. But here's the thing. It's not about avoiding conflict altogether. It's about learning how to move through it with intention, with empathy, so that we can actually strengthen our bonds, even in the midst of disagreements. One of the first things I want us to do is just take a collective deep breath and acknowledge that conflict, in and of itself, isn't a sign of a failing relationship. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When we bump up against those inevitable differences in needs, values, those unique ways we see the world, it's an opportunity for growth. Think about it. If we all agreed on everything, all the time, life would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? There'd be no spark, no challenge to push us to understand each other on a deeper level. What I've learned over the years, both personally and in my research, is that the goal isn't to create these conflict-free bubbles around our relationships. It's about shifting our perspective. How can we approach conflict as a catalyst, a chance to learn, to grow, and to ultimately emerge even more connected than before? Okay, so conflict arises, as it inevitably will. What's the first step? It sounds simple, but it's honestly the most crucial: staying calm. Easier said than done, I know, but trust me, when emotions are running high, the first thing we need to do is take a beat, take a breath, and resist the urge to react impulsively. Remember the fight or flight response? Yeah, that's our primal brain kicking in, ready to either duke it out or run for the hills. And while that might have been useful back in the cave days, it's not going to serve us well when we're trying to navigate a disagreement with someone we care about. So how do we do it? How do we stay present, stay grounded when everything in us wants to scream or shut down? Deep breaths, my friends. It's not just some new age mumbo-jumbo, it actually works. Focusing on our breath sends a signal to our nervous system that we're safe, we're in control, and we can approach the situation with a clearer head. And if you need to take a time out before addressing the issue, do it. It's not about avoiding the conversation, it's about giving yourself the space you need to show up as your best self. All right, so we're calm, we're present. Now let's talk about how to actually approach the conflict itself. And the key here is laser focus. It's easy to let our emotions get the best of us and start bringing up past grievances, unrelated arguments, all that baggage we tend to drag along with us. But here's the thing, bringing up the past is only going to muddy the waters. It's like trying to have a conversation while simultaneously playing a highlight reel of every fight you've ever had. Not exactly productive, right? The goal is to keep the conversation focused on the issue at hand. What specific action or behavior is causing the conflict? And I can't emphasize this enough. Avoid personal attacks. Blaming, shaming, criticizing. Those are just going to put your partner on the defensive. Instead, try using I statements. This is a game changer, you guys. I feel hurt when I need you to. It's about owning your experience, your emotions, without pointing fingers. Okay, so we're staying calm, we're focusing on the issue, and now comes what I believe is the most important part: seeking to understand. Because here's the thing, conflict often arises from a lack of understanding. We get so caught up in our own perspective, our own hurt, that we forget to really listen to where our partner is coming from. So how do we cultivate understanding? By truly listening. And I don't just mean hearing the words, but really trying to step into their shoes, to see the situation through their eyes. Ask clarifying questions. Don't assume you know what they're thinking or feeling. And most importantly, validate their feelings. Even if you don't agree with their perspective, let them know that you hear them, that their feelings are valid. Empathy, my friends, is a superpower. It has the power to disarm, to create a space for connection, even in the midst of disagreement. Okay, so we're calm, we're focused, we're listening with empathy, and now we're ready to start bridging that gap. And the key here is finding common ground. Because even in the midst of disagreement, there's always going to be some shared values, some shared goals. Maybe you both value honesty, or maybe you both ultimately want the relationship to thrive. Whatever it is, identify those areas of agreement and build on them. And here's where compromise comes in. Because let's be real, it's not about one person winning the argument. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you. And that might mean letting go of being right, being willing to meet in the middle. It might mean making concessions, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. But remember, a healthy relationship is about give and take. It's about finding that sweet spot where both partners feel heard, respected, and valued. We're in the home stretch now, folks. We've stayed calm, focused on the real issue, practiced empathy, and found some common ground. Now let's talk about how to move forward, together. This is where we shift from talking to doing. It's about brainstorming solutions as a team. What concrete steps can you both take to address the issue? And make sure both partners have a say in the resolution. It shouldn't feel like one person is dictating the terms. Remember, you're on the same team here. You're partners, working together to find a solution that feels good for both of you. And once you've agreed on a plan of action, follow through. Don't just let it fizzle out. Hold each other accountable, check in with each other, and adjust the plan if needed. Conflict resolution is a journey, not a destination. It's a skill that takes practice, patience, and a whole lot of grace, for ourselves and for our partners. Remember, by staying calm, keeping the focus where it belongs, truly seeking to understand each other, and finding that common ground, we can navigate conflicts in a way that not only resolves the issue at hand, but actually deepens our connection. Join us next time on Inner Purpose Therapy as we delve into the essential role of boundaries in relationships. Because setting healthy boundaries is how we show up as our most authentic, courageous selves, both within and outside of our relationships. Until then, take care and keep those conversations flowing.